A farmer who just would not give up, digging in his field in Michigan when he thought he hit a fence post. Turns out he found a window back to the Ice Age.
Out-of-place artifacts, or OOPARTS, are fascinating objects that defy our understanding of history. These artifacts show up in unexpected places, often seeming far too advanced for the era from which they originate, or even suggesting human presence long before we thought it possible. In today's video, we're diving into the world of these mysterious discoveries, sharing the intriguing details so you can form your own opinions about their significance. But before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content. Let's get started. Baghdad Battery. A clay pot that can generate electricity might not sound impressive today, but what if it was created 2,000 years ago? Enter the enigma of the Baghdad Battery. Discovered in 1938 during an excavation in Kujut Rabu near Baghdad, this ancient artifact is a puzzle for historians and scientists alike. German archaeologist Wilhelm Koenig unearthed a clay pot about 5 inches tall containing a copper cylinder and an iron rod, all held together by an asphalt plug. At first glance, it seems unremarkable, but here's the kicker. Experts believe this setup could produce an electric current. Dating back to the Parthian period around 250 BCE to 224 CE, the Baghdad Battery has baffled researchers for decades. The copper shows signs of corrosion from an acidic substance like vinegar or wine, suggesting it was used to generate electricity, around 2 volts to be exact. What purpose did this ancient battery serve? This region, where the ruins of the Tower of Babel lie, is steeped in legend and mystery, with secrets of lost civilizations buried beneath its sands. While we know the battery dates back to around 200 BCE, its exact use remains speculative. The Parthians, known for their military prowess rather than scientific innovation, seem an unlikely source for such technology. Dr. St. John Simpson, from the British Museum's Department of the Ancient Near East, suggested that the pot itself might be Sasanian, from a later period known for advancing scientific knowledge. Could this discrepancy mean a mix-up in dating or finding location? Adding to the mystery, more pots like this have been found, dating to the Sasanian period, marking the dawn of scientific inquiry in the Middle East. So, how did these ancient Persians harness the power of electricity, and what did they use it for? One intriguing theory is that the battery was used to create a tingling sensation or faint glow in statues of gods, fooling worshippers into thinking the idols were alive. Imagine the awe and fear inspired by a priest's clever trick, using a hidden battery to bring a statue to life. Even after 60 years, the Baghdad Battery remains a fascinating puzzle. Whether it was a tool for healing or a cunning religious ruse, its true purpose might never be fully understood. But one thing's for sure, this ancient, out-of-place artifact continues to spark curiosity and wonder. Antikythera mechanism. After 2,000 years beneath the sea, 3 flat, misshapen pieces of bronze at the National Archaeological Museum in Athens range in shades of green, from emerald to forest. From a distance, they might look like moldy rocks, but up close, they're breathtaking. Embedded in the corrosion are remnants of technology that seem almost modern. Gears with precise triangular teeth, akin to clockwork, and a ring marked with degrees, like a protractor. Nothing like this has been found from antiquity, and nothing as advanced reappeared for over 1,000 years. For decades after divers retrieved these fragments from the Antikythera wreck between 1900 and 1901, scholars struggled to understand them. It wasn't until X-ray imaging in the 1970s and 1990s that it became clear the device replicated celestial motions. Holding it, one could track the paths of the sun, moon, and planets with impressive accuracy. An investigator called it an ancient Greek computer. Despite this, mainstream historians largely ignored it, while fringe writers like Erich von Däniken speculated it was alien technology. Then, in 2006, Mike Edmonds of Cardiff University and his team published CT scans of the fragments, unveiling more details and inscriptions, sparking a surge of scholarly interest. The Antikythera mechanism, about the size of a mantel clock, was likely housed in a wooden case. This case featured a large, circular face with rotating hands and a knob or handle on the side for winding the mechanism. As the knob turned, interlocking gears moved at least 7 hands at different speeds, displaying celestial time instead of hours and minutes, 1 hand each for the sun, moon, and the 5 planets visible to the naked eye: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. A rotating black and silver ball showed the moon's phase. Inscriptions detailed which stars rose and set on any given date. The back of the case had 2 dial systems, each with a pin following a spiral groove like a record player's needle. One dial was a calendar, the other showed lunar and solar eclipses. The mechanism's design drew heavily from earlier Middle Eastern scientific knowledge. Babylonian astronomers in the 1st millennium BCE meticulously recorded the positions of celestial bodies, discovering they moved in predictable cycles. The Antikythera mechanism incorporated several of these period relations, like the moon's 254 cycles over 19 years, to make its predictions. This incredible device is the epitome of an out-of-place artifact. Abydos, mysterious hieroglyphs. In 1848, an archaeological team in Egypt stumbled upon some perplexing hieroglyphs on a ceiling beam in an ancient temple at Abydos, hundreds of miles south of Cairo. These strange symbols were carefully copied and brought back to Europe, sparking intense debate among Egyptologists. Despite the initial excitement, the bizarre images couldn't be explained and were eventually shelved and forgotten. Fast forward to the mid-1990s, photos and videos from tourists who had visited Abydos started popping up online, reigniting the mystery. These images showed the same enigmatic hieroglyphs from the 19th century discovery. The temple, built by Pharaoh Seti Pidi around 3,000 years ago, contained carvings that to the modern eye looked startlingly like various flying machines and even a tank. Among these, a helicopter stood out unmistakably, complete with a rotor blade, cockpit, and tail fin resembling a modern battle helicopter. This could be one of the most astonishing finds ever made in Egypt. Yet, modern Egyptologists have dismissed these high-tech glyphs outright. Given the vast knowledge about ancient Egypt, the idea of Egyptians piloting advanced aircraft 3,000 years ago seems utterly absurd. The accepted explanation among experts is that these carvings are mere illusions. However, a twist in the tale came when the respected Arab newspaper Al-Sharq al-Awsat published photos of similar carvings at another Egyptian temple, the Amun-Ra temple in Karnak. These carvings, also believed to be around 3,000 years old, depicted a battle helicopter and other modern-looking flying craft, remarkably similar to those at Abydos. The presence of 2 almost identical sets of carvings at both Karnak and Abydos raises questions. Could it be mere coincidence, or is there more to these mysterious hieroglyphs than meets the eye? The Baigong Pipes. In 1998, a fascinating tale emerged about a mysterious pyramid in China's Qinghai province, near Mount Baigong. This pyramid, as the story goes, houses 3 caves filled with strange pipes that stretch out towards a nearby saltwater lake. These iron pipes, some as thin as a toothpick, are found both beneath the lake bed and along its shore. But here's the interesting part. They might be 150,000 years old, according to a now-deleted report from Xinhua. The Beijing Institute of Geology analyzed these pipes using thermoluminescence, a method that dates how long ago minerals were last exposed to heat or sunlight. Their findings suggested that these pipes, if man-made, date back 150,000 years. Considering that humans have only been in the region for about 30,000 years, this revelation could turn our understanding of history on its head. In 2002, a team of scientists was dispatched to investigate. Despite some attempts to explain the pipes as natural formations, Yang Ji, a research fellow at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, hinted at something more extraordinary. He didn't rule out the possibility that ancient extraterrestrials might have been involved, suggesting that this theory while far-fetched, deserved scientific investigation. Another intriguing theory says that prehistoric humans, using now-lost techniques, might have crafted these pipes. The pipes lead into a salty lake, while a nearby twin lake contains fresh water, adding another layer of mystery. The surrounding area is littered with what Jinhua described as strangely shaped stones and rocks jutting out like broken pillars. In 2007, Zhang Jiandong, a geology research fellow from the China Earthquake Administration, added more fuel to the fire. He reported that some of the pipes were highly radioactive. Jiandong proposed that iron-rich magma might have risen from deep within the Earth, solidifying into tubes as it cooled in fissures. However, he admitted that there was still something inexplicably mysterious about these pipes. The story of the Baigong pipes remains a mystery. Were they the result of ancient advanced human technology, a natural geological phenomenon, or perhaps something even more extraordinary? Some believe the pipe's origins were prematurely speculated upon, while others hint at a possible cover-up. Whatever the truth, the Baigong pipes continue to intrigue and baffle, leaving us to wonder about the secrets they might hold. The Salzburg Cube. The Salzburg Cube, also known as the Wolfsegg Iron, is a fascinating artifact discovered in Austria in the late 19th century. Unearthed in Wolfsegg am Hausruck, Upper Austria, this relic immediately stirred excitement and curiosity. Often cited as an out-of-place artifact, the Salzburg Cube's origins and composition don't quite align, fueling the imaginations of historians, conspiracy theorists, and scientists alike. At first glance, the Salzburg Cube doesn't look like a cube. The name Wolfsegg Iron might actually be more fitting. It's more of a spherical object with two flat edges and a central groove that sets it apart. Its surface is dotted with numerous pits and craters, giving it an otherworldly appearance. The iron's unique features and futuristic look wouldn't seem out of place in a sci-fi movie. Originally named after the Salzburg Museum where it was first housed, the artifact mysteriously disappeared in the early 1900s, only to resurface later at the Heimathaus Museum. The story of the cube becomes even more intriguing when you consider its discovery. It was found in what's been described both as a mine and an iron foundry. A miner breaking open a piece of coal found the cube inside, suggesting it had been buried in a coal seam dating back over 60 million years. Adolf Gurit, a professor of genealogy at Bonn University in Germany, was among the first to examine the cube, initially suggesting it was of meteoric origin. However, when the Natural History Museum in Vienna analyzed the cube with electron beam technology, they found no traces of elements typically associated with meteors, like cobalt, nickel, or chromium. This cast doubt on Gurit's initial conclusion. Over the years, the cube has been the subject of much speculation and scientific study. Early theories suggesting it was from outer space were eventually replaced with the idea that it was man-made. Despite ongoing debates and without concrete evidence, the true story of the Wolfsegg Iron remains a mystery. The Fuente Magna Bowl. In 1958, a fascinating discovery was made near Lake Titicaca in Bolivia, the Fuente Magna Bowl. This beautifully engraved earthen bowl, adorned with zoological motifs and anthropomorphic characters, was found at a site that had never been studied for artifacts before. But what truly sparked controversy was the cuneiform script on the bowl. Dr. Alberto Marini first translated the script and declared it Sumerian. However, Dr. Clyde Winters later determined it to be Proto-Sumerian, similar to the script used by the Elamites known as Proto-Elamite. This revelation suggested that the Fuente Magna was likely crafted by Sumerians who might have settled in Bolivia sometime after 2500 BCE. The Sumerians, known for their seaworthy ships that reached as far as the Indian subcontinent, could have navigated around South Africa, catching currents that carried them across the Atlantic to South America and then to the Pacific Ocean. They might have ventured to Bolivia's high plateau, drawn by the fertile land and local food production. The Sumerians likely valued the Fuente Magna highly, carefully transporting it throughout the region. Despite its intriguing history, the Fuente Magna has faced skepticism. Some critics have claimed it was a modern fabrication by archaeologists seeking international attention. However, the majority of the academic community supports its authenticity, dismissing these challenges as unfounded, much like past disputes over the existence of writing in the Americas. The prehistoric Russian tooth wheel. 300 million years ago, the Earth was still in its infancy, with no dinosaurs roaming the land. So how do we explain the discovery of a gear shift, a standard machine part, embedded in a chunk of coal from that era in Russia? If this artifact is genuine, who made it and for what purpose? In Vladivostok, Dmitry found something bizarre in a lump of coal he was using to heat his home. Inside the coal was a metallic-looking rail or rod. Intrigued, Dmitry reached out to biologist Valery Breyer. Upon examining the find, specialists were stunned. The object looked like a toothed metal rail, possibly man-made. They noted its resemblance to parts used in microscopes and other technical devices. The Voice of Russia reported that the artifact's distinctive shape, similar to a modern tooth wheel with 6 identical teeth, immediately caught the experts' attention. They found it hard to believe that such a regular shape could form naturally. So, who created this metallic object 300 million years ago? Some experts suggest that this piece of metal might be of alien origin. Is this artifact proof of ancient advanced civilizations or visitors from beyond our world? You decide. The Saqqara bird. Icarus learned the hard way that flying too close to the sun could be deadly, but mankind, undeterred by myths, pursued the dream of flight. Fast forward to the Wright brothers' historic flight 100 years ago, and humanity was finally airborne. Yet, the seeds of this dream were sown much earlier. Leonardo da Vinci's sketches hinted at human flight. However, we find references to flying machines, or devices that could somehow allow our ancestors to fly in many mythologies of the past. These are only legends, right? Enter the Saqqara bird, one of the most mysterious out-of-place artifacts. In the late 19th century, archaeologists unearthed a peculiar bird-shaped artifact in a tomb at Saqqara. Displayed in room 22 of the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, this controversial find measures about 14 centimeters in length with an 18 centimeters wingspan and weighs just 40 grams. Its hawk-like beak and eyes, the squared tail, strangely upright with a possible slot for an attachment, the thin, straight wings without any curvature, and the absence of feet all make it stand out. Was it a ritual object, a toy, or perhaps a weather vane for sacred boats, as some New Kingdom reliefs suggest? Its lack of feather carvings might be due to faded paint, but its aerodynamic potential intrigued many. Khalil Masiha, a professor at the University of Helwan, first speculated that this bird was actually a model glider, sparking intense debate. In the 1970s, the Egyptian Ministry of Culture assembled a commission to investigate, and experts confirmed its unique design wasn't just a child's plaything, but had potential aerodynamic value. Martin Gregory, a glider designer, replicated the artifact but found it unstable and unable to fly. The Saqqara bird symbolizes a sacred bird in Egyptian mythology, but also hints at flight, a divine trait. Could the missing piece at the tail have been crucial for stability and balance, enabling it to soar? In ancient Egyptian mythology, deities were often depicted as birds and associated with natural phenomena like thunder and lightning. Did they, in fact, master the skies? What do you think about these out-of-place artifacts? Let us know in the comments, smash that like button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more intriguing stories from history. Thanks for watching and stay curious.